I picture a landmass, more expansive than the entire European continent, yet it whispers with the sounds of the untouched, almost as if it's a world unto itself. This is Australia for you. In the puzzle of global geography, Australia emerges as a unique piece. It's the sixth largest country on the globe, outstripping many rivals in sheer size. Yet, paradoxically, it's a land where the vast silence often overshadows the buzz of human life. An astonishing 95% of this colossal land remains uninhabited, a testament to its untamed nature. To grasp the enormity of this, imagine compressing the entire population of the United States into a region no larger than Oregon. Or visualize the whole of Europe's populace residing solely within the borders of France, leaving the rest of the continent in a pristine, untouched state. Australia presents a landscape of stark contrasts. Arid, sun-baked outbacks and sprawling deserts form its heart, while its population is huddled along the fringes embracing the coastline. This unique distribution poses a thought-provoking question. With such an immense and varied terrain, what keeps nearly all of Australia's inhabitants tethered to the coastal edges? Venturing into the heart of Australia, one encounters the Outback, a vast, arid domain that claims about 70% of the nation's land. This formidable wilderness stands in stark contrast to the vibrant, verdant coastal regions where the majority of Australians reside. Envision a desert, endless and relentless, its horizons stretching beyond the realms of imagination. This is the Australian Outback, a terrain where rain is a whispered legend and scorching temperatures are daily truths. At its core lies the Simpson Desert, dubbed the Dead Heart of Australia, a landscape so brutal and unforgiving that it challenges the very essence of survival. In this rugged expanse, water, the elixir of life, is a precious rarity. The few rivers that meander across this terrain are often mere echoes of waterways, coming to life only when the skies grace them with rainfall. This scarcity of water renders the Outback a crucible of survival, testing the resilience of flora and fauna alike. And then there's the climate, a realm of stark contrasts. Summers witness temperatures surging past 45 degrees Celsius, while winters can plummet below freezing. But it's not just the thermal extremes. The weather here dances to a capricious rhythm, swinging from prolonged droughts to tempestuous storms, often igniting fierce bushfires. It's a consensus among experts. The Outback ranks among the most inhospitable environments on our planet. The arid expanses, the scarcity of water, the scorching heat and the fickle weather all converge to forge a landscape that poses formidable challenges. Yet in this severity lies a rugged, mesmerizing beauty. The Outback stands as a symbol of nature's enduring spirit, a realm where life persists in the face of daunting odds. Considering these extreme conditions, it's understandable why most Australians gravitate towards the gentler coastal zones. However, the Outback, with its raw majesty and harshness, remains a vital part of the Australian narrative, embodying the nation's geographical and climatic diversity at its most extreme. The sparse population of Australia's vast landscape is more than a geographic quirk. It has deep-seated economic and political ramifications. Diving into the economic realm, let's first consider agriculture. It's no coincidence that Australia's primary agricultural zones orbit the coastal population centres. The harsh, arid conditions of the interior make it a challenging environment for farming, leading to a concentration of agricultural activities along the more hospitable coastlines. This geographic limitation naturally curtails the extent of agricultural development. The impact on industry is equally pronounced. Manufacturing and industrial sectors are heavily reliant on human resources. With a scant population in the central and western regions, these areas often miss out on industrial investments. This creates an economic imbalance. The eastern regions emerge as bustling industrial hubs, while the vast heartland remains largely untapped. In terms of natural resources, Australia's story is one of paradoxical abundance and inaccessibility. The country is rich in resources, yet their extraction is hampered by limited infrastructure and manpower in remote areas. This presents a unique challenge. A wealth of resources, but a labyrinth of logistical hurdles to harness them. Shifting to the political spectrum, population distribution plays a crucial role. The concentration of Australians in coastal urban areas translates into greater political representation for these regions. This often leads to a policy focus skewed towards these populous areas at the expense of the sparsely populated interior, which remains politically and infrastructurally marginalised. Infrastructure development too mirrors this trend. Projects typically gravitate towards areas with higher population density, leaving the vast, uninhabited outback in a state of developmental limbo. In conclusion, Australia's unique population distribution is a key determinant in its economic fabric and political landscape. The coastal concentration not only defines the nation's economic strategies and political discourse, but also steers the course of its infrastructural growth. The looming question is, how can Australia navigate these challenges to unlock its full potential on the world stage? Pause for a moment and consider how Australia's situation stacks up against other global giants like the USA, China, and Russia. These nations, boasting vast territories like Australia, exhibit distinct approaches to land utilisation and population distribution. The USA presents a more even population spread with its sprawling agricultural belts and industrial hubs seamlessly woven across the nation's landscape. This fosters diverse economic zones and a more balanced demographic spread. China, meanwhile, is a study in contrasts. The densely populated and industrially robust eastern regions stand in sharp contrast to the sparsely populated, expansive West. It's a nation where two geographies coexist, each with its distinct economic and social dynamics. Turning to Russia, its Siberian expanse echoes the Australian outback. Harsh and unforgiving, it too is less hospitable for widespread habitation. Yet Russia leverages these challenging terrains for economic gain, particularly through the extraction of vast mineral resources. In comparison, Australia's vast uninhabited land remains a sleeping giant, its latent potential largely untapped. This contrast is not just geographical, but also economic and developmental. It raises a pivotal question about Australia's future trajectory. How will this nation leverage its vast dormant expanses to carve its niche on the global stage? The horizon of technological advancement and evolving global contexts presents Australia with a canvas for transformation. Picture the vast outback, now not just a symbol of isolation, but a potential cradle for renewable energy. Solar technology could revolutionize these barren landscapes into thriving hubs of green power. The digital revolution too plays a pivotal role. With advancements in remote connectivity, the concept of habitability is being redefined. Virtual communities and digital industries could flourish in the heart of Australia, breaking the traditional bounds of urban-centric living. Consider also the potential of carbon sequestration, a strategic weapon in the global fight against climate change. Australia's expansive uninhabited lands could serve as critical zones for capturing and storing carbon dioxide, turning a geographic challenge into a climatic solution. And let's not overlook the final frontier: space exploration. The outback, with its vast unobstructed skies and minimal light interference, is an ideal candidate for astronomical endeavours, from satellite launches to deep space missions. Confronted with these emerging possibilities, it's evident that Australia stands at the threshold of a paradigm shift in the realms of livability and development. The uninhabited expanses, once perceived as Australia's Achilles heel, might just transform into its greatest asset in an era defined by innovation and sustainability. Personally, I love the Australian climate, although I've only really visited its coastal cities. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll travel through the outback. And to those of you who have stayed with me until now, thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.